Ruben, once again, you've come in to face us in the media. You still have this wonderful smile on your face, but behind that smile, how difficult is it at this moment for you?
I think it's hard on everybody here in the club, and we know we have to face the reality. It's a difficult moment, but you can do it. We continue to do our job. Is to focus on the team, try to improve the performance. We know that it will take a long way to fix things, and we also know that it's really hard on the fans. They expect so much better.
You said when you came here that you anticipated the pressure of managing a club that has a global prominence. Has that pressure been more than you anticipated given what you've had to deal with?
No, I think the hardest part is to lose games. I'm not used to do that. You don't reach Manchester United by losing a lot, and that is the hardest part. It's not the pressure from outside; it's the pressure inside. You get. I don't have a lot of patience. I get frustrated easily, and that is the hardest part because I have to live with myself, not with the others. I protect myself for the others' opinions, like from social media, newspapers. I don't see TV because I understand the moment, but I think the hardest part is the pressure that I put in myself because we are losing too many games.
Clearly, what you're saying there, that it hurts that you're losing those games. Everybody's got an opinion on why you're losing a game, but ultimately the only person's opinion that matters is you. At this moment in time, why do you think you're losing more than you're able to win?
I think we changed a lot of things during the season with not a long time to train, and that is hard not just for the players but also for me. And I think that is the main problem because they are trying to cope with every information and they had a lack of confidence in this moment. So everything connected, and also we are suffering some goals in the difficult moments in the beginning of the games, in the beginning of the second half, and then it's really hard to cope with that and to turn things around. So I think is a lot of things at the same moment, and we are not winning games.
I've heard you talk that one of the things that you want to work on in this time that you've got to train with the players is basics. Now, to a lot of people, a lot of people think, well, Manchester United players must be able to do the basics. But is this the basics in your system and the new philosophy? Is that what it is? And can you explain those basics?
It's like the positioning for them to understand each other, the connection between them. Then, for example, we give a lot of rules when we are defending the line, the second line. All these things, sometimes they are so focused on the rules that they forget the common sense. Sometimes there is a situation that they have to adapt because they are top players and they are thinking a lot of things. And then everybody in football knows that when you are in this situation, sometimes it's really hard to play football, to keep the ball until the last moment, to be brave, to stay in the hard position to receive the ball. They try different things to receive the ball in the good position for them, not for the team. These kind of things, if you play football, you understand. Like I said, like you said, is the basics of our way of playing football, and we need time to train.
You mentioned a very important word there, bravery. To play for big clubs, whether it's Manchester United, Real Madrid, whoever, you need to be brave. Do you sense at the moment that some of your players are lacking that belief in themselves to believe and to be brave and play the Manchester United Ruben Amorim style?
Yeah, I think I should say a different thing, but I think you can notice that, and that can happen to any player in football. And then this situation is really special in a bad way because you still are a Manchester United player. So you play for Manchester United, but you are in this position on the table. It's so much harder to cope with this pressure for me than fighting for titles. So we had some problems during the games to keep the ball, to be brave, to be creative. also because you have to enjoy to play the game, and we are struggling in that things.
You're clearly standing up. Every time I see you in the media, you never duck a question. Do you need your players to be leaders, not just the captain, but as individuals?
I think that is really important, not just in our team, but you can see the best teams in England and in Europe. You see a lot of leaders, a lot of guys. When you have problem, they can cope with that and to help the team in different moments. So we need that. We need to have this kind of players in order to win matches, to win titles, and especially to turn things around in this kind of moments.
Do you believe that you have those leaders within the camp? I mean, you look at the names on the list. You look at Casemiro, you look at Ericsson, you look at all of those people, Harry Maguire.
Yeah, we have the men's, and you know, with your experience, that the context sometimes is everything. You put these players in the different contexts, you have like real leaders, and you can see it. Casemiro was a leader in Real Madrid, also with a lot of pressure. But this is a different moment for them, and it's really hard to turn things around. But we are going to do that. So we have leaders, but they have to find themselves to enjoy more and to help each other, because we need all together to fix this.
I know one of the big things that matters to you most of all in life is being a father, and your family have arrived over, and we've discussed this before. Are you having to be a parent to these group of players, like you manage your own family? Is it building those foundations like a good family?
I want to be. I want to be like a parent for my players, because is the way I want to coach. I want to be really close to them, be really demanding, but also be really close, because I was a player. I can understand everything they feel in the game, especially in this moment. So that part is easy for me, because I like to connect with my players. It's hard to connect with the guys that don't want that connection. For me, it's harder to coach this kind of players. But if you want, I will help you, and I will have a connection with you. So it's my kind of coaching.
I know you're getting asked this every week in and week out, but Marcus Rashford, you brought him back on the bench. You elected not to put him on the other night, which perhaps you can give us an insight into. But do you believe he has a future to be a Manchester United player? Has he within him to be what you want him to be?
Like I said, I already spoke a lot about Marcus, but depends more from him than from me. So he has to want it really, really bad. He's here, he's in our squad, so he's our team, our player, and is ready to play if I decide.
Were you tempted the other night at 2-0 down to put him on? You resisted the opportunity?
No, I just in that moment I was really focused on trying to turn things around, to score one goal to open the game, and I choose, for example, Garna to do that job. I was not focused on this idea that I will put Marcos or not, because he was away for 4 games. It was not that. If he's there, he's ready to play, but I chose Garnacho.
One of the other things you said when you came in here, you knew you were going to get criticism. Every Manchester United, every Premier League manager gets criticism. So I want to give you an opportunity to answer some of the criticisms that have been placed at you. Can we start with this 3 at the back? The media focus so strongly, and I can tell you're thinking, why?
Yeah.
What is your view of why people think it's wrong? And are they wrong rather than you being wrong?
No, because I see the game in a different way. I don't see 5 defenders. I see sometimes 3. I see sometimes 4. But we need time to train things. And if you analyze all the coaches from big teams, they had always the same system. So, but was with 4 defenders most of the time. So it's more normal. I have my way of seeing football, my way of working, and I believe a lot on this. But we need time to train. Sometimes we need the right profile. I cannot change in this moment. And a lot of people, for sure, I don't know, but I can assume from all the questions that are saying that I have to adapt. I know that how I want to play. I'm not going to stop because I'm in a difficult moment. If I do that, I was a player. The player will feel that this guy doesn't have certain what what he's want to do. So I prefer to keep my mind. If someone explain me that it's better to change and I understand, I will change. I'm not stubborn. I believe on one thing, and when I believe on one thing, I am really focused on that.
People have questioned the midfield pairing of Casemiro and Eriksen. Is that an unfair criticism of those players at this moment, or is that something that you maybe learnt against Newcastle the other night can be difficult?
No, but I can understand the criticism, and I can understand the if you compare the pace from the midfielders from Newcastle and our pace, I understand that. And we try to cope and try to put our players in position that can like hide a little bit that difference of pace. But I understand that after the game is really easy to evaluate the players. So I think all this criticism around the team and around me, I think is fair. So I can live with that. When it's fair, I can live with that and I can understand.
I think it's important that we look forward as much as we look back. The next game is Liverpool, and it's not just any game for Manchester United fans. I'm sure you're aware of the recent record. It hasn't been great for Manchester United. Is there something that you can do at this moment that you can change people's opinion of what's happening here at Anfield on Sunday? Have you got something in your mind that you can go and make people sit up and go, oh, wow?
I'm not worried about that. I'm just worrying about we had two trainings all together. I'm focused more to improve the last performance. We cannot change that game. We can prepare the other. We are going to prepare the other, but you can look at the team and we lack some basic things. So my focus was more on work on these basic things, and then tomorrow again we will try to really focus on the opponent, understanding the moment of that team is so different than ours. So that's it.
Is it fair to say you must have a better start at Anfield, whatever happens?
That I think that is clear, because you can feel it every time we have, especially the last games at home. You don't have time to calm down the game, to control the game, to try to understand the game, and then to win the game. We're always in the difficult moment suffering a goal, and then it's so hard to turn things around. If you are going to play against this team of Liverpool, we have to start better. We have to have possession. We have to try to understand the game, and then to really play face to face against a very good team.
Two final things I want to ask you. I asked you the other night a question I didn't expect you to answer as honestly as you did. I mentioned relegation, and you said, yes, everyone has to be aware of it. Can you put it into context, though, as to what you actually mean with that?
I think it's important in this moment to be really clear with the fans, and especially with the players. So if you look at the table, we are closer to the relegation than the first place. I'm not looking at the table at the moment, so that is a possibility. But of course, I'm not thinking about that. I just want to win the next game. But I think it's really important to be really clear with the supporters and with the fans and with the players. I think is the best thing to do in this moment.
Very finally, as you're sat here now, it's not the best moment. You've said that, but the future lays ahead. We have two transfer windows coming up. January, we've got summer. We've got you working with the players on the basics. Time to work with players. What does the future honestly look like for you if you're given the time that you've spoken about that you say you need?
We know that the results will dictate everything, but the only thing I can say is that I have a clear path. Even with these results, I have a clear path what to do. So when you talk about changing the system and everything is so far in my head, to do that, because I have an idea, and because we had a lot of games without training. I don't knew the players. Of course, it's a different system. We have to find the right profiles for this system. So we have a lot to do, but we need to win games to have that time. So I'm really optimistic about the future. It's hard to be optimistic in this moment, but when you have a clear idea, you have something to look for, and that gives me the confidence that we are going to succeed. But like I said in the first day, it's going to take a lot of time.
The good news is smile still there.
It will always be, I think. Not after match is really hard to smile, but when you have an idea and it's so clear, you are always looking for it for the next day.
Ruben, thank you for your honesty.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you very much.